Welcome to the outskirts of Portland, where yes, it's true, every interaction you have will feel vaguely of a sketch from Portlandia. We're in Tigard, we're at the Rivian showroom, the sales center here, and we are checking out the R2. Yeah, finally got an opportunity. It's great, we got to see it parked next to a R1S. It looks very, very similar, but a little tiny bit smaller, like imperceptibly smaller. So let's check it out from the inside, where the first thing to note in terms of size is it does not have a third row. Why would it? Third rows, not a very common use case. How often do we use our third row?
Like once or twice a month, maybe.
Yeah. I'd say it's more like 2-3 times a month. It's not every week, is it?
No.
No. And we have 6 people in our crew. I really like that YL though. Be interesting to see. So on this, we will not play the sound system for you, but we can assure you that it has improved, but only slightly. The sound on the R1S was, again, maybe I didn't have the settings right, but I've heard from other channels, I've heard from people I respect highly, that the sound system is just not up to par. This has better bass, I would say. It has some bass, but what's missing?
The rest of it.
The mids are mid, to put it mildly. The display in front of you, I think it looks good. We do not have a heads-up display, which is fine. It's very uncommon here. Ooh, that's inductive. I can feel that. Don't ask. It's a long story. But down in here, we've got, oh, that's probably just magnets, huh? Well, anyway, down in here we've got a pair of USB-C, and in the back, one feature I kind of like. Before we go to the back, we'll go to the back in a second. What do you think of the wood?
I like the wood.
I like the wood, and I'll tell you what I really like about the wood is they didn't overdo it. Like in the R1S and R1T, there's so much wood, and this is expensive. If you want cost controls, this only matters to some people, and frankly, if this isn't enough, I don't know what to tell you, you know? The suspension doesn't go floppy flop. You can't go to different altitudes with your suspension, but you can change the stiffness in a variety. And there's McPherson struts. It's all good stuff. Speakers everywhere. Oh, hey Max, what does that button do?
This button.
Yeah.
All of the windows.
All of them, including the back hatch, because you see it says 5. Cinco is the number du jour, and maybe we'll go like this and see how much of it we can see. And down goes all 5, including the very back. So one thing my buddy Phil told me about, Phil Beisel told me about this. Phil worked at Rivian. Phil knows people who still work there, and I don't think they give him confidential information, but he's got one on order that he'll have taken delivery of by now, is these new tactile scroll wheels. And I can't tell you how satisfying this is, but maybe you can see my hand go click. It's so nice. It's so intuitive. It just plain works. And it does your controls. I don't think there's any. There is. You can click it to the side. Oh, that's wonderful. That's so good. And then this controls, I don't know, something else.
Set speed engage.
Yeah.
To adjust.
Maybe don't need to do this wheel for that purpose. But this is just, I don't know, it's just really satisfying. It's very satisfying. So I think the designer's name is Jason, if that's correct. Jason, you did a great job. And if it's not Jason, my apologies. That's on me. Let's head to the back. Let's hop in the second row. Okay. Now, others in our party pointed out the ambient lighting is, I think, subtle, tastefully done. I like it better like this, where it is just ambient and not shining in your eye holes.
Yeah.
I think the eye holes shine a little much. Got some kind of speaker up here, I guess, maybe. I've got some interrogation lights. That's helpful. And you can see how filthy my camera lens is. I do not have my cleaner handy. This we put down on our own. So you've got instead of you do have the armrest. That's nice. You can fold it up for a third seat. But what you have is a 40-20-40 fold down. More common is a 60-40, where you've got a skinny side or a big side. Well, how much stuff are you trying to move? Do you need a bunch of skis and 3 people? Does the third person need a bunch of width? Is it a dog? So in this case, you can do a 60-40 in either direction, or you can just fold this down and put your skis in the middle. I've got it here. Put that down like that. Top tether. So you can anchor car seats on here, and that was the release I was hitting. So on that, as you can see, you could very successfully have skis in the car, unless you mispronounce it, in which case, what would you have? Skies?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, skis in the car. So definitely be careful about that. One thing I wanted to show in here that I really like, rear seat warmer buttons. Now they do have that on the Model 3. In the new Model 3, you've got controls back here. You don't have screens back here. Do you need them? Oh, look at that, a little USB right there. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Anything else back here we're missing?
It's got a lot of legroom compared to the 3.
Check out how your pouch works. That's nice. It doesn't feel like you're breaking it. It does have, because you've got foot room for your feet beneath the driver's seat. The controls are very intuitive. I'm never gonna mistake this window switch for something else, and the door release exactly on my thumb. And for terms of accessibility, you just poke it. I don't know what they do for a manual release. I'm sure someone will let me know in the comments. Okay, let's head to the back. So this rolls all the way down, as you can see, but more importantly, the windshield wiper tucks away, which is, I think, pretty clever. Let's see if I can find the release on my first try. There we go. So I don't know if that's intuitive to others or not, but it works fine. We do have this track here. I assume it comes with a cover. If it doesn't, get a cover. But we're in the showroom, so I don't expect it to have all of the things it might have, because, why would it? Okay. Anything else back here we should mention?
There doesn't seem to be any way to roll down this window from back here.
Oh, from back here. Oh. Hold this. I'm going to go hit the 5X. And now I'm going to see if maybe just press and hold this button. Nah, it was worth a try. I thought I was being clever. I was, just not sufficiently. Okay. So, this is the R2. These wheels are ginormous, not the wheels I would go with for both range and comfort and curb protection. This is not a lot of clearance necessarily for off-road use, but I need you to be honest and tell me how much off-road use you're going to be doing and how much you've done. Okay, look at that. NACS in the correct corner. A lot of manufacturers took a long time to get this part sorted out. This looks all right. I'm trusting they've got a water drainage situation sorted. And a real nice thing they've done is gotten rid of those huge, endless, continuous pieces of steel that are so expensive in the repairs. The R1S did not suffer from it quite as badly as the R1T. That's plastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in stock.
Yeah, that's all right. If it looks fine, it's fine. It looks like a car. Looks like a car. Let's see. Anything else we're missing? I don't know. We could go through the screens. It's got the inductive charging. It's got all that stuff you want. Now let's talk about the autonomy and whatnot. Because I don't know how much you heard, but I had a chance to speak with a gentleman here. And I said, so speak to me of the LIDAR. And he said, yeah, if you want LIDAR, it's coming next year. Just wait for that. I don't think I need it. And it's not going to be used for the drive. It's going to be used for the data collection. Is that true? Maybe. Is it going to change? Maybe. Too many variables. Not enough solid information. He said that it does have the Autonomy Plus at the moment, which gives you highway adaptive cruise control with lane change on blinker, and that is expanding. And by the end of this year, it may have expanded to city streets and parking. I have my skepticisms about that, which I've shared in the past. I haven't seen anything that would update my thesis on that, which I think is fine, reasonable. Your color choices, there's a launch green that you can only get at launch, which is, if that's what you want. And yeah, there's, let's see here. Let's look at the Autonomy Plus thing. 3.5 million miles of universal hands-free assisted driving on clearly marked roads in North America. Adjust vehicle settings, itineraries, get help on your daily tasks with Rivian Assistant, your AI-powered co-pilot. I have heard good things about Rivian's AI co-pilot. I don't know, man. I just don't need more systems. Continuous software updates. And I've got a video coming up soon, or maybe it already came out, with Phil Beisel, who is employee number 50 at Rivian, who worked on the software-defined features. It's a software-defined car. The stack starts with the software, and that's why they're able to do the OTAs in ways that few other manufacturers in the West do. And by few, I mean one. That's Tesla. So, I think that's enough coverage. What do you think?
I think so.
Did I miss anything?
Not that I can think of.
What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it in the comments below, and everyone else like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop.